Where the hell is The Rock right now when his own family needs him most? While Roman Reigns is lying in a hospital bed with multiple fractured ribs after the most brutal assault in WWE history, the People's Champion is nowhere to be found. This isn't just disappointing, this is a betrayal of everything the Naomi family is supposed to stand for. You want to know what's really happening behind the scenes? The Rock's silence isn't an accident, it's a calculated abandonment of his own blood when Roman needs him most. While WWE fans around the world are praying for Roman's recovery, The Rock is too busy with his Hollywood projects to even acknowledge that his cousin was transferred to a local hospital in Paris where he had an MRI and X-rays taken following the savage attack by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. This is exactly why the wrestling business is dying when family doesn't even matter anymore. The Rock built his entire career on the foundation of Samoan pride and family loyalty, but now when Roman Reigns, the man who carried WWE through its darkest periods while battling leukemia, is hospitalized and out indefinitely, where is that family loyalty? Nowhere to be found. The wrestling world is in complete shock right now, not just because of the vicious attack on Roman, but because of The Rock's absolutely disgraceful silence. Social media is exploding with fans demanding to know why the final boss hasn't said a single word about his cousin's condition, and the answers we're getting from backstage sources are making this situation even more infuriating. Roman Reigns went head-to-head with Bronson Reed at WWE Clash in Paris in what should have been a routine match, but instead became a nightmare that ended with the tribal chief being stretchered out of the arena. The attack was so severe that Triple H shared a video of Reigns being stretchered off from the arena, but The Rock? Radio silence. Here's what makes this even more disgusting: we all know The Rock monitors social media constantly. His team tracks every mention, every hashtag, every trending topic related to him and his family. There's no way he doesn't know about Roman's hospitalization, which means his silence is intentional. This isn't an oversight, this is a conscious decision to ignore his cousin's suffering. But wait, it gets worse. While Roman Reigns is dealing with this injury on top of the fact that he's still on oral chemotherapy for his leukemia battle, The Rock is out there promoting his latest movie deals and business ventures like nothing happened. The optics are absolutely terrible, and fans are starting to see through The Rock's carefully crafted public image. The attack itself was unlike anything we've seen in modern WWE. Braun Breaker speared Roman Reigns through the announce table in a moment that left the entire WWE universe gasping in horror. But even after witnessing such brutality against his own family member, The Rock remains conspicuously absent from any public support or concern. This situation is revealing The Rock's true priorities, and they have nothing to do with family loyalty or wrestling heritage. While Roman Reigns has been carrying the torch for the Naomi family legacy in WWE, putting his body and health on the line night after night, The Rock has been cashing in on that same family name for Hollywood credibility without giving anything back to the business or the family that made him. Sources close to the situation are revealing that this isn't just about The Rock's busy schedule, there are deeper issues at play that expose the fractures in the Naomi family that WWE has been desperately trying to hide. The tension between The Rock's Hollywood ambitions and his wrestling family obligations has reached a breaking point, and Roman's hospitalization is exposing just how far The Rock has drifted from his roots. The timing of The Rock's silence is particularly infuriating when you consider Roman's health history. This is a man who revealed that he is still on medication for his cancer, who has already faced life-threatening illness while maintaining his position as WWE's top star. For The Rock to ignore his cousin's latest health crisis shows a level of callousness that's shocking even by Hollywood standards. But here's the part that will make your blood boil: The Rock's social media team has been posting regularly throughout this entire period. While Roman was being rushed to the hospital, The Rock's Instagram was featuring promotional content for his various business ventures. While WWE fans were praying for updates on Roman's condition, The Rock was pushing his energy drink and movie trailers like nothing happened. The wrestling community is furious about this betrayal of family values. Legendary wrestlers who understand what family means in this business are speaking out about The Rock's disgraceful silence, though many are afraid to criticize him publicly because of his influence in Hollywood and his business relationships with major entertainment companies. This situation is also exposing The Rock's hypocrisy when it comes to his family-first public persona. For years, he's built his brand around being grateful for his wrestling heritage and loyal to his Samoan family traditions. But when his cousin, who's carried WWE while battling cancer, needs support most, The Rock's true priorities become crystal clear, and family isn't even on the list. The medical reality of Roman's situation makes The Rock's silence even more unforgivable. Reigns was taken to a local hospital in Paris where he had MRI and X-rays taken to determine his medical status, indicating serious concerns about internal injuries from the attack. Any family member with basic human decency would at least acknowledge such a serious situation. WWE management is reportedly embarrassed by The Rock's silence and the negative publicity it's generating. The company has been trying to leverage The Rock's star power for major storylines and WrestleMania moments, but his abandonment of Roman during this crisis is creating serious questions about whether they can rely on him when the business needs him most. The financial implications of The Rock's silence are also significant. Roman Reigns is one of WWE's biggest draws and merchandise movers, and his injury already creates programming and revenue challenges. The Rock's refusal to even acknowledge the situation eliminates any possibility of using his star power to maintain fan interest during Roman's absence. International media attention has focused on Roman's hospitalization and the severity of the attack, but The Rock's silence has become an equally significant story. Entertainment journalists are starting to question whether The Rock's Hollywood success has completely severed his connection to his wrestling family and the business that made him famous. The contrast with other wrestling families is stark and damaging to The Rock's reputation. When wrestlers from other prominent wrestling families face serious injuries or health issues, their relatives immediately rally around them publicly and privately. The Rock's absence during Roman's crisis stands out as a glaring exception to this tradition. Social media analytics reveal that The Rock's engagement rates have actually decreased since Roman's hospitalization, suggesting that fans are beginning to turn against him for his silence. Comments on his recent posts are flooded with criticism about his failure to support Roman, and his usual army of defenders are notably absent. The psychological impact on Roman Reigns cannot be ignored. Here's a man who's already dealing with the physical trauma of a serious injury and the ongoing stress of his cancer treatment, now facing the additional emotional blow of his cousin's public indifference to his suffering. The Rock's silence sends a message that could affect Roman's recovery and mental health. Behind-the-scenes sources reveal that Roman's inner circle is furious about The Rock's silence. His wife, his children, his close friends in the wrestling business, everyone who cares about Roman is shocked and disappointed by The Rock's complete lack of acknowledgement or support during this crisis. The Rock's Hollywood representatives are reportedly scrambling to manage the negative publicity from his silence, but their damage control efforts are falling flat. Entertainment industry insiders are questioning whether The Rock's brand, built on charisma and likability, can survive the perception that he abandons family members in their time of need. This situation is also affecting The Rock's future WWE storylines and potential appearances. Creative teams were developing major angles around his involvement in Roman's storylines, but his current behavior has forced WWE to reconsider whether they can trust him to be available and committed when the company needs him. The merchandising and marketing implications are severe. Joint merchandise featuring The Rock and Roman has seen declining sales as fans become disgusted with The Rock's behavior. His signature catchphrases about family and loyalty now ring hollow in light of his treatment of his hospitalized cousin. Training facilities and wrestling schools are using The Rock's silence as an example of how success can corrupt wrestlers and cause them to forget their roots and family obligations. Instructors are teaching young wrestlers about the importance of maintaining connections to the wrestling community even after achieving mainstream success. The international wrestling community has taken notice of this family drama, with promotions around the world discussing the importance of supporting wrestlers during health crises. The Rock's silence has become a cautionary tale about how Hollywood success can change people's priorities and values. Corporate sponsors associated with The Rock are quietly monitoring the situation, concerned that his perceived abandonment of family during a medical crisis could damage their brands. Companies that have built marketing campaigns around The Rock's family-friendly image are reconsidering their associations. Medical professionals in the wrestling industry are particularly disgusted by The Rock's silence, given Roman's complex health history with leukemia. They understand better than most how important family support is during medical crises, making The Rock's absence even more inexcusable from their perspective. The educational impact on wrestling fans, particularly younger ones, is deeply concerning. The Rock has been positioned as a role model who represents the best values of wrestling and Samoan culture. His silence during Roman's crisis teaches young fans that success gives you permission to abandon family obligations. WWE's women's division superstars have been notably more supportive of Roman than The Rock has been. Female wrestlers who barely know Roman personally have posted more supportive messages than his own cousin, highlighting the embarrassing nature of The Rock's silence. The production and creative challenges created by The Rock's behavior extend far beyond just Roman's storylines. Writers had been developing long-term angles that would involve both cousins, but The Rock's current attitude has forced complete rewrites of major storyline arcs. Fan loyalty towards The Rock is eroding rapidly as more people recognize the contrast between his public persona and his private actions. Wrestling fans value authenticity and loyalty above all else, and The Rock's silence exposes him as someone who prioritizes business over basic human decency. The Rock's silence during Roman Reigns' hospitalization isn't just a personal failing, it's a betrayal of everything wrestling fans believed he represented. His abandonment of family values, his prioritization of Hollywood over wrestling heritage, and his complete indifference to his cousin's suffering have revealed the true character behind the carefully crafted public image. This crisis will define The Rock's legacy in ways he probably never imagined. Years from now, when wrestling historians examine his career, they won't just remember his matches and movies, they'll remember the moment he chose silence over support when his own blood needed him most. The People's Champion has shown that when it really matters, he's only champion of his own interests. Roman Reigns deserved better from his family, WWE deserves better from its biggest star, and wrestling fans deserve better from someone who built his career on their support. The Rock's deafening silence speaks louder than any promo he's ever cut, and what it's saying is absolutely unforgivable.